The geniuses in Congress decided it would be a brilliant idea to renew sanctions on Iran. Thanks, guys. Now, remember, we just recently got a peace deal and a nuclear agreement with Iran, and Iran has been holding up their end of the bargain the entire time. In fact, we covered a story on that recently. The IAEA said, hey, all systems go, man. They're abiding by the deal. Well done. So the United States, in our infinite wisdom, decided to respond to that by renewing sanctions on them as a giant middle finger to them as they're doing the right thing, which, by the way, disincentivizes them from continuing to do the right thing, you fucking epic morons. Epic morons. Okay. Well, now there's blowback from this. Huffington Post explains, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani demanded on Sunday that Barack Obama block an extension of sanctions passed by the U.S. Congress, saying Tehran would otherwise, quote, firmly respond. In a speech to Parliament, Rouhani denounced legislation passed by the U.S. Congress to extend the Iran Sanctions Act for 10 years as a violation of Tehran's nuclear deal with 6 major powers. The deal curbs Tehran's nuclear program in return for the lifting of international financial sanctions. President Obama is expected to sign the legislation into law, the White House said on Friday. The U.S. Congress move was a blow to Rouhani, a pragmatist who engineered the diplomatic opening to the West that led to the nuclear deal. On Sunday, 264 lawmakers in Iran's 290-seat parliament issued a statement calling on the government to implement countermeasures, including relaunching nuclear enrichment halted under the atomic deal. Well, isn't that fucking peachy? So understand what happened here. They're abiding by the deal 100%. Congress decides, let's just renew sanctions against them because fuck them. And then they decide, oh, that's cute. Well, now let's vote to relaunch our nuclear program. That's a facepalm, but as the kids are saying nowadays, head ass. That is head so firmly in the ass it can't come out. I mean, that's colon head, rectum head, sphincter head, ass, assy ass. What the fuck, son? Okay, Obama, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to sign it. Why are you going to sign it? Congress wanted it overwhelmingly. And you're going to tank the fucking agreement. And understand, so you have to get the dynamics of this. The Grand Ayatollah, which I know is a fucking hilarious title. He doesn't realize how stupid he sounds. The Grand Ayatollah of Iran, the theocratic leader of the country, he is a hardliner who's against the deal. He never wanted the deal from the beginning. He was, by doing political chess, Hassan Rouhani and the reformers in Iran basically cornered him and got him to do the deal. So they were depending on the goodwill of the West in doing this deal in order to carry it out and to continue to make the case to the people and to continue to hold the hardliners at bay. If the United States renews sanctions, as they just did, you're undercutting the leftists and the reformers in Iran, and you're strengthening the hardliners. And then you're making it so that the hardliners are going to, get more control, get more power, sweep in the next election, and then they're going to undercut the deal even more, and we're right back to square one. All because of what you did. They didn't do it, you did it. They didn't say, we're not abiding by the agreement, and we're going to relaunch our nuclear program even though we just signed the agreement. They abided by it, and then you slapped them in the fucking face by renewing sanctions even though they're abiding by it. And then now what they're doing is just a tit-for-tat response. Oh, you put a middle finger up to us? Well, here's a middle finger for you. If you didn't put the middle finger up to them, they would have kept abiding by the deal. We know they were doing it. So every single fucking moron in Congress, fuck you. You just made the future for our kids more dangerous. You just made war with Iran more likely. Because of your hubris and your arrogance and your, I'm gonna show the world I'm tough. I'm gonna show the world I'm tough. Iran bad. You just made a fucking peace deal with them and cut off their path to a nuke. Now you're making it more dangerous, and you're making it so that they might relaunch and actually have a path to a nuke again, and they might stop abiding by the deal because you stopped abiding by the deal. The deal was we lift fucking sanctions and give you back your own money, and you let the IAEA in, and there's no nuclear enrichment for a weapon. That was the deal. We had one job, no sanctions, and we did the fucking sanctions. It wasn't just Republicans. It was Democrats. It was the Democrats. It was almost everybody. Almost everybody voted to renew the sanctions. And so the articles are weird in how they're framed. You don't get all the details of the sanctions, but some articles basically imply like, well, it's just symbolic. So let me get this straight. You're going to tank the fucking deal, which is working, over a symbolic attempt to put sanctions on them. So you go, oh, no, the sanctions don't have teeth. It's just a symbolic fuck you to them. So you're going to tank it just to basically talk to yourself. To be, oh yeah, fuck the Iranians. The Iranians suck. We should really sanction them. Anyway, we really love peace and we care about peace. So I hope the deal works. Fuck you guys, by the way. Whether it's just sanctions in rhetoric and there's no teeth to it, or whether you're actually bringing back sanctions, I don't give a fuck. Don't do it. You just made a peace deal. You have goodwill. You have an opportunity here. But you put a middle finger up, and now you. So if the deal unravels, it's on you. It ain't on the Iranians. The Iranians fucking followed through. They followed through. They did their portion. You didn't do yours. You're the goddamn problem. Obama, if you have any balls, you won't sign this. If you have any balls, you won't sign this.